Hello everyone, we're going to read in the book of 1 Samuel 30 from verse 1 and 2, but you can read it down. And it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day that the Amalekite had invaded the south and Ziklag, and smiting Ziklag and burned it with fire, and had taken the women captive they were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away and went on their ways.
Ba ku ne ba? Ba ku ba ne? Ba ku ba ne? You must kill it. Nah. Don't hit him. Kai. You must kill it. Nah.
To cultivate that culture in our people, while at the same time bringing the Fulanis in one fold and try to arrest their traditional practice of moving from one place to the other. And that is very big, an uphill task. But I think we can communicate with them more, because to them they don't have borders from Cameroon to Nigeria.
But that's the thing, Excellency. How do we ensure that those who will be participating in this federal government largely funded program will be Nigerians?
In terms of the funding?
No, in terms of
the operations.
Operations. You said to bring in the Fulanis together. We have Fulanis from other countries
the issue
as well.
of misconception, I said there is a lot of mistrust and misconception with regards to the Fulani man. The Fulani man is a global or an African person. He moves from the Gambia, from Senegal, and his nationality is just a Fulani man. And as a person, I may have my relations in the Cameroon, but they are also Fulani men. I have relations because from the maternal side, I'm a Fulani man. And that is why we want to educate people. A Fulani man sees himself as a Bayelsan, as somebody coming from the Niger Delta, because he speaks the Niger Delta language, which you and I don't. And of course, we would have to just take this as part of our own heritage, something that is African, and that we cannot just close the border and say the Fulani man is just a Nigerian or this. No. In most cases, the crises are precipitated by those outside Nigeria. When there is a reprisal, it is not the Fulani man within Nigeria that causes it. It is that culture of getting revenge, which is embedded in the tradition of the Fulani man, that attracts reprisal from all over the world.
If I understand, does that mean that those Fulani men who are maybe domiciled in other countries who move around, they can come into the country and this plan will accommodate them as well?
Yes, that's what we want to do. But it has to be done through sensitization, telling them you have to buy in the project, and you use the language, the culture is up to be able to convince them, away from the mistrust where the whole system of transhumance or pastoralism is criminalized. Criminalization of pastoralism is the problem that we have with this project, and it requires people with passion who understand them and who they believe in, people like us from that part of the country, to say yes, we have this. Because today there is no limit to the accusation that this and that has happened and it is the Fulani man who caused it. There is no tribe that is not that you don't have this criminality in, but certainly the way and manner we do it is really excavating the crisis and the problems.
Will there be any form of documentation of all the people that will be,
yes, we are
within that?
Oh yes, that is going to give Nigeria the opportunity to really have the best in terms of documentation in the demographics, because as I said, the Fulani man settles anywhere he can feed his cattle. And so if they are put in one place and they are made to understand that this is to save them and their animals, they are exposed to the vagaries of the forest and what is going on, cattle rustling, killings and what have you, and that's why it is important for them to understand that staying in one place is good. And of course, in terms of the best practice of carrying the meat, the cows and the lorries.
Let's stay with that security angle for a bit. Is there going to be, this plan going to be a fenced enclosure where anyone who comes in is secured, so there is no one that can just come in from anywhere else.
No. It is going to be a colony, and a colony does not require a fence.
You will
It is not
understand
going
the
to be a
reason.
prison.
You will
It is-
understand the reason why people are concerned, because of all the security issues that have been happening over time. So if that's
These forests are there anyway. If you don't occupy them and create a colony out of them, they create places for the criminals. And today, that's why you have the Sambisa forest, because
Yeah.
it is not being utilized.
But Your Excellency, much as yes, I mean, they are fantastic. We have met a lot of them who are Fulanis as well. But the concern too is, why should federal government use resources for this country to accommodate Fulani men who are not Nigerians?
You see, as I said, we are already accommodating them. Do you delineate and then really know who is not a Fulani man from Nigeria? They are all Nigerians, because I said their identity, their own citizenship is Nigerian, even though we have relations all over the world, all over Africa. And so, presumably they are Nigerians. I think you get me. That is the misunderstanding. They move from one place to the other, and they have relations, kith and kins in all the parts of the country, and even outside the country. So that is why our own population is fluid. You can certainly not say this is the population of Nigeria.
So
We're
these
always
issues was raised in,
extrapolating.
these same issues were raised in NEC. And NEC admitted and accommodated all of these concerns and said, yes, we will do this.
All these issues, there were some, you see, when decisions are taken, you don't give a dissenting view. It is a decision that it should be done, and state will look at its peculiarities and what it wishes. So for some of us, we think it's a very good thing. We can even say we will accommodate all the Fulanis in Bauchi if you want, and then we'll be taking their meat and their products to you, and then we'll make a lot of money.
Okay, to your 100 days.
yes, but
Time is flying.
no. Let's just transit, maybe a little smoothly. How will this plan help the Bauchi meat factory?
Thank you very much. We have a Bauchi meat factory that has become comatose. We had stores and we have facilities all over the country to Lagos and Port Harcourt, but it was abandoned. And we believe we have ranches that were owned by the government. That's why I said the private sector must come. And then, of course, all the facilities, water, and the new grass that we are trying to develop using the Chinese technology, that it doesn't die, and then it boosts the protein content of the animals. So we believe Bauchi Meat Factory can serve the protein needs of the country by really preparing the meat and all the T-bones and whatever steak and that we can send to the hotels and so on and so forth. And then, of course, the animals are there. The Fulani man will know that he is getting value for money for his products. The only problem is the issue of making sure there is grass. Once the place dries in during the dry season, they will move. And that's why the issue of grassing and the rest comes in, and we need technology to do that.
Okay, we need to go to break.
Brave and gallant Nigerian soldiers, I speak to you not as an outsider, but as a victim of the callousness of the federal government of Nigeria. Being a child of a soldier myself, my father died in the service of Nigeria. After his death, we, his family, were treated like rags. Before you are deployed and asked to shoot and beat up innocent civilians, embarking on peaceful protests to fight for their rights, remember, you are a Nigerian first, and your duty is to serve this great nation, not to any politician. This fight is not a fight against the Federal Republic of Nigeria, but it is a fight for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We hear your cry. We see your frustrations. How long will you be deployed to the front line to fight Boko Haram and ISWAP with no weapons? Many of your colleagues are falling to the wickedness of these same politicians who are asking you to come out now and shoot and beat up innocent protesters, fighting for the future of the same Nigeria you swore to protect. So many Nigerian soldiers have lost their lives fighting a war they know nothing about. How long will they continually waste your lives on a meaningless fight that is sponsored by the same politicians? So many Nigerian soldiers have gone missing, killed and buried in shallow graves, and their wife and children lied to that they are in the front line while they are 6 feet under the ground. After you are killed in war, your family is thrown out of the barracks and treated like rag. Brave and gallant Nigerian soldiers, how long will your benefits be diverted into the pockets of these greedy politicians? How long will retired soldiers die just to collect their pension after serving this great country? How long will your gallant colleagues be gunned down in a war sponsored by these same politicians? How long will the Nigerian military be one of the least funded and most poorly paid soldiers in the world, while the Nigerian politicians lines his pockets with billions and billions of money meant for our future. This fight is not a fight against the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This fight is not a fight against the police or the army. This fight is for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Brave and gallant Nigerian soldiers, change is imminent. We call on you today not to be used as pawns by these politicians to quell peaceful protests across the nation. We call on you today to put the future of your family and your children first. At the end of this fight, we will all be better for it. Awa.
God began to speak to me about Biafra, and I'm worried. I stopped somewhere last month, and I'm going to throw a little light on another one. And I pray that the authority concerned should listen to me. And it's a statement. Dialogue now, so that you should not be knocking the door for dialogue and there's no dialogue. That's what God told me. I keep saying it. I said there is a spirit in this young man. It is bigger than what physical eye can see. I'm not an Igbo man, I'm a Yoruba man, but I'm speaking as a prophet. I said what I see in this young man is bigger than him. You see the man, the small boy that they call him, what is inside him is bigger. It's not just an ideology, it's bigger. I said, I see an animal. Which animal did I told you last time? Huh? I said what? A what? A what? A small puppy. And I say, I see a small puppy going forward. All of a sudden, I saw so many strange wild animals, lion, bear, great animals around the puppy. Then I saw the puppy look back and saw that the animals around him are so many. Suddenly the puppy, what I saw last month is different from what I'm seeing now. The puppy is developing some futures of wild animals. This prophetic word is not to the negative. It's very important. Take the Biafra agitation serious. Dialogue now. Because I see a time, doors are knocked, calls are made. People who are heady are saying we have come down, but these people are not willing to dialogue again. Please, redeeming the time, for the days are evil. Dialogue now. Dialogue now. I repeat it again. I'm not an Igbo man, but I'm telling you what I'm shown in the spirit. What? I'm saying great people, important people in this nation coming together and saying now, okay, we want to sit on the table, let us talk. But the people you want to talk with are saying it's too late. Please, dialogue now. The days ahead are evil. Dialogue now. This is not a cry of a baby. It's a cry of an adult. I repeat it again. Dialogue now. The Bible said, blessed are the peacemaker, for they shall be called the children of God. Please, every authority, there come a time when a revolution is about to take place. The power of gun, bombs, and bullets cannot hold an ideology. Please, dialogue now. This is not the time of, I have bullet, I have gun, I have bomb. This has nothing to do with bullet and bomb. If you know what I'm seeing in the realm of the spirit, everyone in federal authority should take the Biafra agitation serious. If you are once a founding father of this nation, sit down around the table and listen to your children. Dialogue now. not the time to arrest anybody. It's the time to hear the cry of the people. Dialogue now. Because it's going to be the last resultant solution at the end. But when you are asking, when the king comes down from his throne and he's saying, I'm ready to talk, and everybody is throwing stone at you, then you will know that it is important to dialogue with honor and prestige and go out, and there is peace in the land.